In a quiet corner of America, there are people willing to endure winters that plunge to -30 degrees Celsius and drive for miles across endless open roads just to preserve a way of life that many other places have slowly left behind. This is South Dakota, a land of strange canyons, vast prairies that stretch to the horizon, and communities that have remained connected to the same land for generations. While most Americans only see this place from an airplane window, the people who live here have chosen to stay. They have embraced the 21st century while continuing to preserve the simple frontier spirit that has long defined this region. Perhaps amid its immense landscapes and unforgiving climate, South Dakota is still holding on to a part of America that many other places have gradually lost. Situated in the upper Midwest and bordering 6 other states, South Dakota is one of the most landlocked places in America. Far from the nearest coastlines, it has retained the character of a region deep within the American interior, removed from the fast pace and energy of the nation's coastal cities. Few people realize that the area near the town of Belfourche is often regarded as the geographic center of all 50 United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. Deep in the heart of North America, South Dakota has no ocean, yet it offers vast open skies and endless horizons that have become increasingly rare in much of the modern world. Flowing through South Dakota from north to south, the Missouri River has long served as one of the state's most important natural boundaries. Local residents still refer to the two sides as East River and West River, almost as if they were two distinct worlds within the same state. The differences extend beyond geography. Over time, each region has developed its own landscape, economy, traditions, and way of life. And from this river emerges one of the most fascinating stories about the people and culture of South Dakota. The harsh natural environment has also helped shape the strong sense of self-reliance that defines many people in South Dakota. When winter arrives, many families clear snow from their driveways and walkways early in the morning before beginning their daily routines. During harvest season, repairing equipment and helping neighbors across vast stretches of farmland are simply part of everyday life. In many rural communities, people are accustomed to handling most daily challenges on their own before seeking outside assistance. Over time, this has fostered a culture that values practicality, personal responsibility, and initiative in everyday life. Yet self-reliance has never meant isolation. In small towns across the state, high school football games on Friday nights still bring together large crowds of local residents. Students, parents, and longtime community members gather in the stands after a long week of work, sharing a tradition that continues to unite generations. Local festivals and community events also remain an important part of daily life, helping to strengthen the close bonds that connect families throughout this land. Traveling westward, the flat prairies gradually give way to the dark pine forests of the Black Hills, a region that holds some of the most important stories in the history and culture of the American West. What makes this place especially fascinating is that two mountains less than an hour apart tell two very different stories about America. On one side stands Mount Rushmore National Memorial, featuring the faces of 4 presidents, closely tied to the creation and growth of the modern nation. On the other stands the Crazy Horse Memorial, a monument that has remained under construction for decades. For the Lakota people, it is far more than a massive sculpture. It represents their history, identity, and enduring connection to their ancestral homeland. The presence of both monuments in the same region has made the Black Hills one of the few places in America where multiple historical narratives exist side by side within a single mountain range. These famous landmarks also provide an important source of income for the small towns that lie beneath the hills. Every summer, millions of visitors arrive, transforming quiet roads into some of the busiest destinations in South Dakota. As a result, many families have adapted to 2 completely different seasons of life throughout the year. The warmer months are filled with restaurants, hotels, and tourism-related businesses, while winter brings back the slower rhythm that has always defined the region as snow blankets the hillsides and most visitors have gone home. Between these 2 contrasting seasons, the people of the Black Hills have developed a way of life uniquely their own. Summer brings the energy of tourism and local commerce, while winter returns everything to the peaceful character of small mountain communities. When the last groups of visitors leave and the tourist attractions gradually turn off their lights, the Black Hills return to the quiet rhythm that has always defined these small mountain towns. In local restaurants and craft breweries along the foothills, chislic remains one of the most common dishes on the menu. The dish traces its roots to German and Russian immigrants who settled in South Dakota generations ago, and it continues to appear at family-owned establishments and community gatherings across the region. Cubes of beef or lamb are fried until golden and traditionally served with garlic-seasoned crackers, creating a flavor that has become deeply associated with the state. Today, chislic can be found not only in restaurants throughout the Black Hills, but also at fairs, festivals, and small diners across South Dakota. In 2018, it was officially recognized as the state's signature dish, reflecting the cultural influences that have shaped the region for generations. Like many stories in South Dakota, some of the most interesting traditions begin with the simple pleasures of everyday life. Deep within the Black Hills lies Deadwood, a town that became one of the most famous destinations during the gold rush of the late 19th century. It is closely connected to legendary figures of the American frontier, such as Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane. Today, many of its historic streets, hotels, and saloons have been carefully preserved. During the tourist season, historical reenactments and staged gunfight performances continue to attract visitors eager to learn about the region's past. Yet beyond the stories of the Gold Rush era, Deadwood remains a small community that continues to evolve within the Black Hills, a place where the legacy of the Old West still lives on in the everyday lives of local residents. If you enjoy discovering the history, small towns, and hidden stories of America, a hike is a wonderful way to help more people find this journey. People in South Dakota often say that East River and West River reflect two different personalities within the same state. Although they share the same state government and benefit from South Dakota's lack of a personal income tax, each side of the Missouri River has gradually developed its own way of life and traditions over time. For local residents, that divide exists beyond the map. It can be seen in daily work, community rhythms, and the way people relate to the land they call home. East of the Missouri River lies the part of the state where most of South Dakota's population and economic activity are concentrated. At the center of this region is Sioux Falls, the state's largest city, where modern life has grown around Falls Park and its distinctive pink quartzite formations that have become a local landmark. With a relatively affordable cost of living and no state income tax, Sioux Falls has attracted businesses and new residents from across the country in recent years. Even so, it has managed to preserve the calm and welcoming atmosphere that defines much of the American Midwest. Beyond the urban areas, vast fields of corn and soybeans, along with highly modernized farms, continue to play a vital role in the East River economy. On Friday nights during the fall, high school football games still bring communities together as local residents fill the small-town bleachers, keeping alive one of the region's most cherished traditions. One of the things many visitors remember most about East River is the culture of Midwest nice, a simple friendliness that has become one of the defining traits of the American Midwest. Strangers readily smile, nod in greeting, or strike up conversations in small local coffee shops. People here call soft drinks pop, and the word "ope" almost comes out automatically whenever someone accidentally bumps into another person. The influence of German and Scandinavian immigrants is still present in many families today. That heritage can be seen in kuchen, a traditional dessert that was officially recognized as the state dessert of South Dakota and continues to appear in bakeries, local festivals, and weekend family gatherings. River into West River, the landscape begins to change dramatically. The flatter terrain gradually gives way to dry plateaus, endless grasslands, and sprawling cattle ranches that stretch to the horizon. In many small towns, cowboy hats and leather boots remain part of everyday working life. The people here live closely with livestock, the weather, and the rhythms of the changing seasons. Rodeos still attract large crowds and continue to reflect the ranching traditions and cultural identity of this part of the state. One river, two ways of life, yet both remain inseparable parts of South Dakota today. Whether they live in East River or West River, the people of South Dakota share one thing in common. Long drives have become an ordinary part of daily life. In this state, spending hours on the road to work, shop, or visit friends on the weekend is simply part of the routine. Along Interstate 90, which stretches across the entire state, the horizon seems to blend into the land, while the scenery changes only gradually. Many drivers have described a phenomenon known as highway hypnosis, a feeling of losing a clear sense of time after traveling for long periods through landscapes that appear almost unchanged. For many rural families, four-wheel drive pickup trucks remain the vehicle of choice. Dirt roads leading to ranches and farms, heavy winter snowstorms, and deep spring mud make high-clearance vehicles a practical necessity rather than a symbol of comfort or status. In many communities, a pickup truck is more than just transportation. It is an essential tool for farm work, hauling supplies, and supporting the daily routines of the entire family. Across the long and quiet highways of South Dakota, local residents continue to practice a small tradition that often surprises visitors. When two vehicles pass each other on a lonely country road, drivers sometimes lift two fingers from the steering wheel as a simple greeting. Many people refer to this gesture as the two-finger wave. There are no rules behind it and no need for any formal explanation. Perhaps that is why, on the empty roads of South Dakota, a small wave can sometimes say everything that needs to be said. Leaving behind the pine forests of the Black Hills, the landscape changes dramatically. Vast grasslands gradually give way to deep canyons, eroded cliffs, and countless jagged rock formations. The name Badlands comes from the way early settlers described this harsh and difficult terrain. Under the sunlight, the layers of sedimentary rock constantly shift in color, ranging from pale yellow to deep red. The challenging environment has long shaped daily life here, with scorching summers, powerful winds, and long, bitter winters. Along the small roads that wind through the clay valleys, yellow school buses continue to make their daily routes, serving families scattered across the Badlands region. On the edge of the Badlands stands Wall Drug, one of the most famous roadside stops in the United States. Its iconic billboards begin appearing dozens of miles away, turning the destination into a memorable stop for generations of families traveling across the country. The story of Wall Drug began during the Great Depression, when the owners decided to offer free ice water to travelers passing through during the hot summer months. That simple idea gradually attracted more visitors and transformed a small drugstore into a symbol of the classic American road trip experience. Today, Wall Drug continues to preserve many elements of traditional roadside travel culture in the United States. For many Americans, it is far more than a tourist attraction. It is a place deeply connected to childhood memories and family journeys across the American Midwest. After most of the tourists have gone home, Wall Drug returns to the familiar role it has long played for local residents. Many farmers, who live dozens of miles apart, still stop by in the morning, order a 5-cent cup of coffee, and enjoy the free ice water that has remained a tradition for generations. Their conversations often revolve around cattle prices, crop conditions, or the possibility of an approaching snowstorm. These simple exchanges reflect the realities of rural life in South Dakota, where work and nature remain closely connected. And like so many mornings before, they continue on with another day across this vast and demanding land. West of the Missouri River, vast ranchlands stretch out beneath the Black Hills. Many cattle operations here still cover thousands of acres. Far from the paved highways, daily life is shaped largely by the weather, water supplies, and the movement of the herds. Managing large numbers of livestock across rugged terrain requires practical solutions. Ranching in South Dakota today is a blend of traditional experience and modern technology. When cattle need to be moved through narrow canyons, rocky ground, or slippery slopes, well-trained horses remain the most reliable and flexible tool for the job. Across the wide-open grasslands, ATVs have become increasingly common for checking herds and traveling between different grazing areas. Modern ranchers also make use of drones to monitor their land from above, locate stray cattle, and inspect fences, saving countless hours compared with relying entirely on traditional methods. Although the tools have changed over time, many long-standing traditions within ranching communities remain very much alive. Nowhere is that more evident than during branding season. This is not a festival or a public spectacle. It is one of the busiest and most demanding times of the year. When a family needs to vaccinate and brand hundreds of calves within a short period, neighbors from nearby ranches often arrive with their horses and equipment to help. There are no contracts and no wages involved. A rancher may spend the morning flying a drone to inspect fences, and by the afternoon, be back in the saddle, working much the same way earlier generations did. Technology continues to evolve, but across the grasslands of South Dakota, many tasks are still carried out according to traditions that local ranching families have preserved for generations. Winter never arrives unexpectedly in South Dakota. People here are accustomed to preparing weeks before the first snowfall appears. Heating systems are checked, fuel supplies are stocked, and ranches begin storing feed for livestock ahead of the coldest months of the year. When the first snow blankets Spearfish Canyon and the western hills, daily routines gradually begin to change. Many outdoor activities are reorganized to fit the weather, while local stores start filling their shelves with snow removal equipment, ice melt, and supplies designed for the winter season. Living with extremely low temperatures has created many unique habits throughout South Dakota. In many communities, people plug in their engine block heaters overnight so their vehicles can start more easily the following morning. After major snowstorms, transportation often adapts to the realities on the ground. In some rural areas, snowmobiles are used to travel between ranches and deliver essential supplies when roads have not yet been fully cleared. The long tracks across fresh snow, the sound of engines echoing through frozen valleys, and pickup trucks coated in road salt have all become familiar images of a South Dakota winter. Winter also brings its own culinary traditions. During the coldest months, grilled meats, hearty soups, and potatoes appear more frequently on dinner tables. Across frozen lakes, many people still spend hours fishing for walleye, one of the region's most popular fish species. Small ice fishing shelters dot the frozen surface throughout the winter, each one containing heaters, folding chairs, and patient anglers waiting in the bitter cold of the American Midwest. In many small towns, fried walleye remains a favorite meal whenever winter arrives. Passing through the pine-covered hills of Custer State Park, the wildlife loop opens onto a landscape where wildlife still reigns over the land. Here, a herd of more than 1,300 bison continues to roam freely across the valleys and grasslands of the park. It is not uncommon for drivers to wait several minutes while an entire herd slowly crosses the road. For local residents, stopping to let bison pass is simply a normal part of traveling through the Black Hills. Alongside the bison herds and pine forests, family farming continues to play an important role in many communities throughout the state. Every summer, county fairs become some of the most anticipated events of the year. It is common to see children proudly leading the animals they have raised for months into the exhibition and judging areas. Many families begin preparing long in advance, caring for their livestock, and completing handmade crafts and agricultural products that will be displayed during the fair. Beyond the competitions themselves, the fairgrounds showcase local produce, traditional crafts, and the results of a year's hard work by families across the community. Many of these activities are closely connected to 4-H, a youth development organization that has been part of rural America for more than a century. Through 4-H clubs, young people learn how to care for livestock, participate in agricultural activities, and develop practical skills that remain valuable throughout their lives. In many programs, participants are responsible for monitoring the growth of their animals, keeping daily records, and preparing for competitions held at the end of the summer. Many join at an early age and remain involved throughout their school years. With a population of only a few thousand residents, Sturgis is one of the smallest towns ever to host an event of such enormous scale. Every August, nearly 500,000 motorcycle enthusiasts from across the United States and around the world gather here for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, the most famous motorcycle event in South Dakota and one of the largest gatherings of its kind anywhere on Earth. During the rally, the roads surrounding the Black Hills echo constantly with the sound of engines. Hotels, restaurants, and local businesses experience their busiest period of the year, providing an important economic boost for communities throughout the region. Today, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally is more than a motorcycle festival. It has become a cultural symbol of South Dakota and the American West. In the southwestern part of the state, Bear Butte rises prominently above the prairie. For the Lakota people, it continues to hold deep cultural and spiritual significance. In recent years, many efforts to preserve and revitalize Lakota traditions have continued to grow. The Lakota language is gradually returning to schools and family life. Some local programs use horse care and horsemanship as a way to help young people strengthen their connection to their heritage and the land around them. At Pine Ridge, the largest reservation in South Dakota, initiatives focused on preserving language and cultural traditions remain an important part of community life. At powwows, known as Wakipi in the Lakota language, the sound of drums and traditional dances continues to echo through every gathering season. Around the celebration grounds, stands selling fry bread and Indian tacos always attract large crowds. These simple foods remain a familiar part of community events and cultural traditions among Native peoples across South Dakota. Despite their different traditions and ways of life, many communities throughout South Dakota share one common experience of living among wide open spaces and sparsely populated landscapes. Traveling along Iron Mountain Road, visitors are surrounded by pine forests, rolling hills, and the vast openness that defines the Black Hills. In many places, dozens of miles can pass without another major settlement coming into view. On clear nights, the Milky Way still stretches brightly across the South Dakota sky, a familiar sight for many people who call this land home. The journey through South Dakota now comes to an end. Amid the constant changes of modern America, this state has managed to preserve many of the qualities that make it unique. Small towns, local traditions, and everyday routines continue to shape life for countless families across the region. Perhaps it is this slower pace that gives South Dakota its distinct character, a place where nature still plays an important role in the way people live, work, and remain connected to the land they call home. Thank you for joining us on this journey. What aspect of life in South Dakota impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy exploring places like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you do not miss our next adventure. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.